This is Izzy. She's a 4-year-old BLM Mustang from Silver King, Nevada. She was surrendered to my rescue in July, and she was emaciated, she was extremely unhealthy, and I rehabilitated her and brought her back to good health and in my training program. But unfortunately, she backtracked a few weeks ago after having to get vaccines, and she lost all of her trust in me, so I moved to Liberty Work to work on developing that trust and relationship again, especially since it seemed to make her a lot more happy mentally, and being around people is starting to become something she enjoys now since we started Liberty Work. Before I work any of my horses, I do a simple warm-up of just touching them all over, making sure they're comfortable with me that day. After I've touched them all over and made sure they're okay with me, I do rope desensitizing, just swinging it over their bodies, and she definitely gets nervous at first, but that's usually how she is, so I do it one more time to make sure she's fine. Once she's fine with the rope, I flex her head to stretch and make sure she's soft in the halter. The last thing I do at a standstill is work on lowering their head to pull pressure, and she only recently learned this. It made her very anxious before, so I just do a little bit at a time. Before I go to actual Liberty work, I make sure I round pen a little bit, make sure they get any energy out, and just move their feet before I try working on keeping them with me. Round penning used to make Izzy really nervous. She would kind of just gallop around super anxious. So we've been working on transitions, going from different gaits, walk, trot, canter, and then of course changing directions facing me. I don't let my horses change directions with their haunches turned to me. And so learning that was pretty difficult for her. And you'll see when I ask her to change direction, she's still a little sassy or hesitant, and it takes her a few steps to really switch. But she's learning, and that's totally fine, because the more she does it, she'll pick it up quicker. So here I'm trying to draw her in, and I'm giving my kissing cue, which means come. And she stops, which is great, but she gets kind of confused and moves away. So I'm going to start playing some games with her and going back and forth, giving my come cue. And if I have to get in her space a little bit to be able to draw her back towards me, I will. And it's just a matter of getting her to take steps towards me and come in. So you're going to hear a lot of kissing because I'm trying to really engrave that cue into her mind, that that means to come, that means get closer to me. That's just what that cue means in my little workbook. So I do a lot of that, and I'm holding my whip up and giving that cue to draw her in. And I'm just working on getting some forward steps towards me. So the first few sessions, I only worked on her left side because that's where she's more confident. And I just wanted to wait until she got a better hang of the Liberty thing before I switched it up. So now we're working on her right side, and it's the same thing as the left. I just switch my whip over, and we're working on drawing her in towards me this way. It's not very often that I'll use treats as a form of positive reinforcement and reward, but this horse needs much stronger praise and reward. She doesn't fully understand that a verbal cue or rubbing on her can be a sign of that she did very well. So I'm just using treats as a way to reinforce that. So using the draw that I've developed, I'm going to start forming circles by backing up and just bringing her towards me. And you can see how it starts to click in her mind that she just has to walk around me. We worked on this to the left our first 3 sessions, but this is her first time doing it to the right. You can definitely see the difference going this direction because we've been working on it for a few sessions and we're working on trotting and staying on a circle. It's a lot easier for them to walk on a circle, and when you ask them to start trotting, usually they run away quite a bit and you have to draw them back and start over again. So whenever she does trot and take a few steps staying on the circle, I give her a lot of verbal praise because it's a big deal.
Good girl, stay out. Good girl.
So now using the draw that I've developed with each side, I'm working on switching her over, and this is later going to apply to Liberty circles and more advanced maneuvers at Liberty.
Good. Good. Switch. Good girl. Good. Good girl. Good girl.
So the come maneuver has been extremely hard for Izzy to learn. She has a very thick wall up, and for her to come trotting towards me takes a lot out of her. Just getting her to walk towards me was extremely difficult, so I give her a lot of praise when she takes even a few trot steps coming at me. I have to use a lot of energy to get her into a trot because I can't really tap her too hard with the whip. Not that I would even want to, but sometimes that helps to get more impulsion out of them. But that would just drive her away. So I have to use a lot of energy, running backwards and hopping up, pitching my voice up higher, and just anything to get her moving into a trot. And I had to reward her as soon as she would take even one step quicker in the beginning. And by now she's picked it up quite a bit, but that's just my energy takes a big role in teaching her anything. So now to end the session, I just want to go over real quick what we started on in the beginning, and that's just circles using my draw that I created. And I just want to get a few good circles to the left at a trot, and of course I want to get a good circle to the right since that's what she learned this session.
Good. Good girl. Good.
So since she just learned this session, I'm really just looking for a few steps of forward movement going around me. I don't want to ask for too much because what she's doing now is perfect, especially since we just started working on it this session.
Good girl. Good. Good girl.
So for Izzy's fourth session at Liberty, she's been doing amazing. I'm so proud of her and I'm really happy to see her happy doing something and enjoy being around me again, especially after her big backtrack a few weeks ago. So I'm really happy with her and I'm really happy with how this whole entire session went.